Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here, basically, we are talking about one topic, that is the cities creation. Sorry, the currencies creation, currencies dependencies, and in this, basically, we are talking about the ideas and ideas equal to global warming. Global warming is not error. In this, basically, we are talking about the one of the solution, that is 12th number solution, that is cities creation is okay, basically, other than creating the planets. So, like this, basically, one of the person told that basically we have reached to the one of the creation, that is India creation. So one of the person told that basically which kind of ladies basically stay here basically in India basically. Then they were literally basically he started tracking who is basically the doctor of this caste, who is the doctor of that caste, who is the doctor of this caste. So he basically literally started. For example, Indian girls basically are staying outside. Which kind of basically the people basically are Indian basically. Which kind of people basically are of India basically. Which kind of generation basically is India is basically. What is the next generation? How basically they can do anything for the cricket? How basically they can do anything for the football? Like this basically, who created these blood cells basically? For example, assume that basically India is not winning the World Cup basically. So up to what level they can do basically the stuff basically. That also basically we are going to discuss basically up to what level this group basically will go to win the World Cup. And for example, anybody is creating problem, anybody told that basically I don't like Mahendra Singh Dhoni, I don't like Kapil Dev, who basically won the India World Cup, then basically what are the things basically they are going to do with that particular boy basically. That also we are going to discuss basically in this next video basically, next video basically, few next video basically. So one of the person told that basically sports basically is what actually are basically, sports actually is what basically the people basically who watch the sports basically, what they know basically, why they are watching the cricket. For example, one person told that cricket, what actually cricket is, cricket is basically that advertising screen. There basically they say that basically hit 4, so they basically hits 4. They basically say that hit 6, so they basically hit 6. They basically say that basically bowled out, they basically gets bowled basically. So this basically public are watching basically this. And they basically, if the India basically get lost the match basically, then they hits the stone basically, and basically they literally hits the stone in their car, cricketer's car. And then basically they hits the house also basically, they creates problem in their house also basically. So this is cricket basically, one of the person told this basically. So one of the person told that basically if they basically have reached up to that level basically, then cricketer also basically might have done some plan basically. Then he told that yes, basically they also basically might have done some plan basically, because they basically can't sit like this, no basically. They can't sit the idly basically. So they also basically might have done some plan basically that, अरे यार ये public basically we are hit. They are basically see basically what they are doing basically. Now basically what should we do basically? So literally basically they also do the plan basically. But the public basically don't know the public. That if the advertising screen say that basically 6 hit, they are hitting the 6. That public don't know basically. Publics don't know that this whole thing basically is happening actually. So this is actually cricket basically. So up to what level basically the public goes, and up to what level the cricket industry basically goes to do certain level of plans, that also we are going to discuss basically. And up to what level the companies basically do for the cricket basically, that also basically we are going to see. Companies mean software companies, how basically they handles the employees basically, if the World Cup basically has lost, each and everything basically we are going to see. Up to what level energy basically they creates in the body of that particular each and every employees, that also we are going to see basically in next video basically, next video basically. So one of the person told that up to what level basically they go basically. For example, one of the company basically told that basically one person is sending the invitation, and then basically they say that basically they basically literally calls basically the employees basically, do one thing basically, reject that particular boy here basically, reject that particular boy basically, like this basically they says basically. So just see basically up to what level the things basically going to connect basically. So one of the person told that basically this type of incidents basically also happens basically. So one of the person told that the earthquake basically which is happening that is also connected with this only basically. Each and every incident basically which happens, then it will that might possible basically. For example, assume that basically one person basically sent the invitation to few girls basically, they all basically rejected. Yes, basically they all reject. So anything is going to happen in earthquake basically? Nothing is going to happen. Why? Because he's not connected. He's basically don't have money. He's basically along basically his God also basically is not helping him. Then what basically is anything is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen basically. Anything is going to happen? No, basically nothing is going to. So like this basically things are basically there. So this earthquake basically came basically. For example, one person told that how basically this earthquake came here basically. This Carolina, California, 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 North California, California, North California, basically. I think. Just a minute. What actually is this? Is basically we'll just say. And how basically they had this name also. That also will say. Just see basically what actually I'm typing, that you see basically.
California,
California.
California,
Just see basically the difference you see basically. What actually this says, this is see.
California,
California, California. Just see. Listen again.
California, California,
See. Just difference. See. Basically, the countries basically same. Countries both are same basically, but see the difference basically. See the difference basically how they are speaking basically. So one of the person told that basically if the language basically is the word of the planet basically is one basically, sorry, the city basically, or basically the city is one basically, then how basically the each and every people basically speaks like this basically. Then he told that basically need to search basically how they have told that basically like this basically. Example is this only basically. Just see basically. In Hindi basically what is that?
California,
California. And this see here basically.
California,
California. In basically now basically we will see in
Californie,
see difference you see basically. In French basically it's told like this basically. Now basically see the difference.
California, California,
See basically the difference. So these are the difference in the language only basically. The difference basically are in the language only basically. So here is the basically 20% error also you can see basically. From 20% basically, little bit error basically are from here also basically, that also you can see. But we can't basically see to other countries basically how they are speaking, how they should speak. That basically is not anybody's headache basically. They will speak any of the language basically, whatever way basically they want to speak basically. But this is going to affect the error basically. So that's basically the people who created the words, that's basically their headache basically, how they are going to generate the thing basically. So here basically we are talking about the 20% error basically, which is telling that basically error basically 20% is there basically. In this basically we are talking about that. Few countries basically say that basically the some college basically activates their energy in the city from the plane also basically. For example, MBA Harvard. How basically they activates the MBA Harvard in Vadodara city? They basically have the power supply connection of the from the plane basically. From plane basically they activates the Harvard data basically to the Vadodara city. in next video basically we are going to see this.